Hey, shalom, y'all. Quick video on what we call the modern dating cycle. And the reason why it's so upside down today, and the main reason, is because we are afraid to tell these women their position. And we're afraid to show them their position in our life is to be a servant, is to be in full obedience, like the Bible says it's supposed to be in. We're allowing them to control our lives, and we're allowing them to choose the things that they think is good and the things that they think is evil, and we're trying to run our lives by what they feel, by their emotions. So let's go to the bottom of the problem. We'll deal with where it starts, and that's the initial connection between the two. So let's get it in real quick.
I'm gonna ask you, what do you think most girls your age are looking for in guys?
Honestly, this is going to be very broad, very broad.
I'd say top two, top three.
Probably financial stability from a man. And I mean, looks are going to play a big part.
Looks, yeah.
Looks are going to, rightly so.
Do you care about looks?
I need to be physically attracted to you, yeah.
Would you say looks?
All right, that's the number one problem right there. I need to be physically attracted to you. Women were not created to be physically attracted to you in order to be your wife or your woman. This is a new thing in the earth that America is one of the top people on earth that's pushing this nonsense. If we go back to the beginning, we understand women were created to be servants to men. We understand that the daughters were sold to one of the righteous brothers in the community. This is how women gained their husbands. They didn't go out and learn or find the guy that they want and look at if he's attractive to him, if he got the nicest shoes on, or if he got the nicest chain. The number one problem is the relationship is ran off of what makes the woman happy. So the number one thing of making her happy is I have to be attracted to you. Okay, imagine you being purchased by your husband and you don't know him. You've never met him a day in your life. Nine times out of 10, you are not going to be attracted to him physically. Why? Because that wasn't part of the deal. It wasn't, okay, well, let's bring her out, make sure she likes him, make sure she likes his shoes. Does she like everything about him? Okay, all right, well, we go ahead and make the transaction now. That's not how it worked. Most of the time, the woman was not attracted to the man. What is that saying? That's saying every man deserves the full-fledged submission from his woman. Not just the ones that look a certain way, not just the ones that are a certain height. Every single man deserves full submission from his woman. This is how it should be. This is how it was before America destroyed the way of marriage. And now everything is catered to whatever feels good and looks good to her. But before, the woman was a possession. And that's what she is today. It's just she's being lied to, and the brothers are going along with the lie and pretending that she's more than what she is. But we have to understand, this is not about the woman's feelings. This is not about what makes her feel good, what looks good on paper to her, what looks good in her face. It's all about, can she be a good asset to her husband? Because she is his servant. So we have changed the way we look at marriage because we're completely running it off of every single step to please the woman. And the first step of pleasing her is, oh, you have to look the part. Now you're gonna hear the brother say, if you was 5'2", if you was a brother that was 5'2" and overweight, then women ain't gonna look at you. Well, guess what? Even a brother that was a short brother and an overweight brother, he deserved to have the woman of his pick, and that woman was supposed to be in full subjection. But now by putting the cards in the woman's hand, now they are able to say what brothers are worthy or what brothers are not worthy of a woman. Saying stuff like if he's under 6 foot, then he's worthless. This is the type of stuff we hear women saying. But we already know a certain percent. It's on a very small percentage of men that's above 6 feet anyway. But on top of that, I mean, of course, that's just showing that they don't understand how things go. But on top of that, most of their fathers are not the things that they say have to be, that they have to have in order to be with a man. And a lot of times they'll be attracted to the man because that's where it starts, that physical attraction. But then he doesn't do something else, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's a wrap. Well, I can't be with him because he doesn't fulfill this need or that need. Mind you, they didn't already lay with you. So we got to understand it was never meant from jump for it to be about, oh, well, she likes him or she doesn't like him. All right, that's the number one problem, is it starts off on what makes her happy and what she likes. There's no man there to actually be the buffer between her and the other man and be the sense in the situation to say, okay, well, you need to be with this man because of this or because of that. And one thing we never gonna hear is, oh, well, I chose him because he was a spiritual man close to God. He was a man that taught God's laws. We're not gonna hear stuff like that. We just gonna hear worldly things because these are people that are of the world, as majority of the people are. Well, check it out.
It's probably like the first thing that you'll judge a guy on.
It's the first thing I'm gonna see, but it's not gonna keep me there.
No, but it's the first thing.
And she said it off the rip. It's the first thing I'm gonna see, but it ain't gonna keep me there. I'll be gone if you don't make me happy. Now you didn't pass the first test. Now I got a bunch of tests for you to pass. Mind you, she has completely went left when it comes to her looks. A man does not want a woman that have cut all her hair off. She has the ability to grow her hair, but yet she has cut it all off. Why? Because America has liberated her and got her putting all kind of pins and needles all in her face and tattoos all on her neck. Men don't want that. But you've been told, don't matter what the man wants, he better accept you how you are, or he's a horrible man. He's not the type of man you need. He better just accept. No, that's not how it is. A man purchased a young woman and molded her up to be the woman that he wanted her to be. She didn't do not one thing that he didn't want. She didn't dress not one way that he didn't like. But now it's come to the point where we have to accept no matter what.
I never said kept. I said the first thing you're going to judge a guy on is his looks. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it's funny because when I ask this question, a girl will always say something else. Like money, yeah. They'll say something else, or things that you said, emotional intelligence, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm not saying blah,
blah, blah. Not a lot of girls.
Yeah, but.
No, blah, blah, blah was right. He was right about the blah, blah, blah. That's what it is. Because it's a bunch of nonsense that they have put together in their head to create this Superman that they think is Superman. They only gonna think he's Superman for 30 days. In the next 30 days, they got a whole new set of rules that's gonna make a whole new Superman because the last Superman didn't work out. So it is blah, blah, blah. Because they all got a different version, and for some reason, he's not a good man if he doesn't fit every single, if he doesn't check every single box that she needs. Yet the next woman, he'll be a good man too, but this woman have convinced everybody that he's not a good man simply because he doesn't check all her boxes. We got to understand we done got to a point where we are trying to impress servants. We're trying to impress the ones that's just here to help us, that's here to follow after the things we need them to do. Once we get out of that, out of the mentality of trying to impress them, then we can get back to ruling them.
Yeah, but the thing is, even with you saying that, yeah, how you gonna find out if the guy's got emotional intelligence if he doesn't pass the looks test? Because if he looks like crap.
But I didn't say that though.
No, but I'm okay, cool. You're not saying that. So you.
Because I agree with that.
Huh?
I agree with that.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm
so
going to
looks
see
is
the
the number one thing.
Yeah, because what you need, in my opinion, for a relationship to work, there has to be physical attraction. So of course, looks are going to be a very important
thing. So really and
thing.
truly, when you were talking about all this emotional intelligence stuff, you should have said looks first, because that's the first thing, right?
Face value, yeah.
There you go.
But that doesn't really Not that I'm saying.
Because I think girls don't want to look shallow. That's the thing.
No, but not that I'm trying to say that.
And that's what it is. They don't want to look shallow, but they are shallow as hell. They're picking things that have nothing to do with righteousness, nothing to do with raising a family, nothing to do with actually living a good life. And they're using these things to measure up what a good man is. Oh, how does he look? Oh, it has to be. I have to be attracted to him. If I'm not attracted to him, I just can't do it. Why? Because you got all these men that's trying to holler at you. You got all these men in your face. And see, that wasn't the case back then. The women understood their place and understood that if they did try to go out and talk to another man, they would be shamed or even burned with fire for trying to cheat on their husband, commit adultery. Now, of course, adultery, that's why the Lord said, you adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of this world is enmity with God? Whoever is a friend of this world is an enemy of God. Why is that said? Because this world is just full of adulteresses and adulterers. It's okay for her to just jump around from man to man to man to man to man, and nobody says anything. That's why we're bringing into play what she wants or what she feels or what she thinks is right. It does not matter at all. Like the Lord said, let the woman remain silent in the church. The Lord don't want to hear nothing the woman has to say on any matters of the church. Any matters. We got to understand the woman's mentality, the woman's opinion is not needed on any matters of your house. If you want it ran the way you want it ran, that's how it's ran. You don't take her opinion on nothing. You tell her what her opinion should be because she belongs to you. And anything outside of that is her not trusting in her Lord with all her heart, and that is her leaning to her own understanding. What does that mean? She's not treating you the way that she would treat Christ, because she's commanded to not do that. We got to get back to the way he said we're supposed to run our houses. The more and more we just cower down to America and allow them to run our house, the more and more we're going to deal with women that think it's all about them. They know from the beginning that this is not about them. That's the best thing for you, because then they can get that out their head from jump. But if you allow them to think that this is about them being happy and you making them happy, that's where you're going to fail, because they're never going to stay happy. You're going to have to continue to try to make them happy. That's not what God put you here for. God put them here to continue to try to make you happy, but everything been flipped around.
You're trying to invalidate what I said because you're not.
I'm not invalidating.
But yeah, no, you're not. But whilst looks are important, obviously, even it's the same for guys. Like if you see someone, if you're not physically attracted to them, like come on, we're all shallow to some certain degree when we meet someone.
Nah, men are a lot different. Men are the ones that possess. We are the ones that own. When we go out to a car dealership, we pick the car that we want. When we go and look for furniture, we pick the furniture that we want. When we go and look for a house, we pick the house that we want to what is our liking, because we are the owners. So therefore, we have the prerogative, we have the right to say, well, I want her because of this or because of that. We have that right. But like I always tell brothers, don't pick her just over her beauty, because 9 times out of 10, her beauty is her curse. Her beauty is too much for her to handle. She's too busy looking at all the people that's giving her attention over her beauty. But again, men have that right where they can choose the woman for this reason or for that reason, because they are the ones that choose. The woman is not. Close the door.
I tend to be more like honest with it. We'll like, bruv, if the girl's like busted, there you go, bruv. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it, or like, that's it. Like,
yeah,
girls try to, will say, oh, I'm looking for a guy emotional, and I'm not trying to diss you. I'm not trying to be horrible. I'm just saying, like, you gave an example of the emotional intelligence and blah blah blah, bro. If the guy looks like crap, bro, it don't matter, bro. Like, because what I've noticed in my life with me, my friends, with guys in general that I know, yeah. Like, you can be a good guy, you can be emotionally intelligent, blah, blah, blah. If you're 5'2" and fat or just whatever, bro, the girls, they don't care, bro. You're not even going to get it in the door. How are you going to get in the door to show? And
just imagine, you have to understand, if a man is that height, the Lord made him that height. Did the Lord make him that height? So that means, he don't deserve a woman? No, but let these women tell it, he don't. Let these women tell you he don't deserve a woman. He just need to be by himself. No, every man deserves a helper. Like the scripture says, it's not good that man be alone. I will make him an helper. That's what he did. He made us helpers. So it's to this point where everything is about making her happy, to the point where a man that's not, in their eyes, the top 15% of men, he doesn't deserve a woman. This is how crazy it then got. And it can only be turned back around when we come back to the laws of God. What does that mean? Righteous brothers have to make sure when they have children, they pass their righteous daughters on to good brothers. Not depending on how tall he is, not depending on how much money he make, not depending on how good of a speaker he is, but just the fact that he's a brother and he deserves a family as well. All right, we have to get back to that. We can't make it about how the woman feels. We got to remember the woman will pick whatever looks good. She don't care about the future. She's not looking at who's going to be a good husband to my children. None of that. It's about what looks good, how much money he got, and what job he got, so I can tell my friends he do this and he do that. And if he don't do some tight job that my friend's going to be impressed with, then he's not a good man. They got so many stipulations on what a good man is, to where only a certain percentage of men will benefit from that. Well, that's not how God made it. The Lord made it to where all men are supposed to have that same peace in their households. All men are supposed to have a woman that's in full subjection. But of course, we see what it then turned into.
Your intelligence, your emotional intelligence.
But you know why I said that though? Because yeah, I agree, looks are important, and I'm not denying that physical attraction is important for me. But once I see,
like, how could you sit there with a straight face talking about physical attraction is important while you didn't cut all your hair off as a woman? While you got a damn pin cushion in the middle of your face? While you got tattoos on your face and on your neck? You got the audacity to say the looks are important. Like, when are you going to embrace your feminine role and do the things that a feminine woman's supposed to do, so you can understand that your looks are the one that's actually important to the man? But we know that it's not about the man no more at all. It's about the man accepting, no matter what the woman is, no matter how she is, she deserves the highest percentage of man, and that's just it. And if she don't get it, then she just gonna sit there and continuously have sex with different dudes every night until she gets what she wants. Not understanding that just by having sex with different dudes every night, you're disqualifying yourself from the dude that you're looking for. All right, this is just full madness, and that's why I call it the American adultery cycle, because it's not going to stop, because it's literally set up to cause adultery. It's set up to make women think that they're going to get something. They're going to get the Prince Charles treatment, Prince Charming treatment, and then when they don't get it, all men are dogs. Oh, yeah, while at the same time sleeping with all men. All right? It's a full-fledged circle and cycle of adultery. And it's not going to stop until you're dealing with righteous women and righteous men.
Physically, I'm attracted to you. Once I get in conversation, if the rest of it ain't there, I'm gone. I don't care how nice you look. Like, okay, cool. You could give me a guy that I think is a 10, yeah? And a guy that I think is a 6. I'll get to know the both of them. And you might be like, nah, she's just chatting. But getting to know the both of them, if the 6 has that emotional intelligence and has what I look for. And
they say emotional intelligence and what you look for. That's somebody that's catering to her needs and listening to everything she say and nodding his head like, you're right, you're right. Just listen. Anybody that's correcting her, letting her know what's going on, fixing the situation, oh, that's somebody that's just, controlling. You think he could tell a woman what to do. When these are the things that the woman needs. She doesn't want what she needs. She just wants candy like children. I just want candy all day. Candy all day. Just tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me I'm this. Tell me I'm that. Even if I'm wrong, just tell me I'm right. They just want candy all day. They have to have lords. They have to have men over them that correct them. And this is the part where you brothers got to step it up and stop dealing with women like this that think it's all about them.
that is more valuable than the 10.
But to be able to fall in love with someone, you got to be able to get to know them first. You got to
Yeah, definitely,
so
definitely.
looks wise,
We can't listen to nothing a white boy says. First of all, let's get that understood. Get it all the way understood. All right. If you think white people can teach you anything about marriage, get that out your head right now. All right, because you are out your damn mind. These people, like I always say, these are the people that will allow their woman to tell them go sleep on the couch. All right, y'all are completely disqualified from teaching me anything about marriage. Completely disqualified because y'all don't understand the man is the head of the household. So what he's saying is, oh yeah, you have to get to know him. All of that. That's the American way. All right, the woman has been taught that it's all about her. So him saying that, it's really just the woman getting to know the man, because the man didn't have to get to know the woman for him to love her or for him to show love towards her. He purchased her and she was his, and he loved her as his possession. Now this love thing has become this cuddly lovey-dovey thing where it's all about the woman's feelings, but it's not.
If the 6 has that emotional intelligence and has what I look for, that is more valuable than the 10.
but to be able to fall in love with someone, you got to be able to get to know them first. You got to
Yeah,
understand
definitely,
So
definitely.
looks wise,
Looks are important
yeah.
for everyone. I'm not denying
yeah, but
that.
I agree with you. You got to be able to get to know someone to be able to fall in love with them, because you've got to work out their ethics, what they want out of life,
Yeah.
how they are emotionally. But obviously,
Yeah, your work ethics needs to be what I tell you they need to be. What you want out of life need to be what I tell you that you want out of life. Why? Because you're my possession. I'm not here to hear all of these things that you feel. I'm here to tell you what I need out of you, and you're here to obey in everything. I know it sounds too harsh for a lot of people, but that's what a possession is. All right? You don't come and tell me what things should be. You react to what I tell you. That's what you do. That's your job.
yeah, but I agree with you. You got to be able to get to know someone to be able to fall in love with them, because you've got to work out their ethics, what they want out of life,
Yeah.
how they are emotionally. But obviously, then you go down the route of wanting to have kids with someone, and if that adds up and you fancy them, then you're winning. But if you don't fancy them in the first place, like for me, if I don't fancy someone in the first place, it might sound silly, but if I say to myself, would I have kids with them, and the answer is no, then I don't even bother.
But you see what? I feel like females have the choice from the beginning. So from early teen ages, they have the choice of the whole field. Men are always fighting for it. We've got to work for what we've got. So we're not going to understand this. Because she can choose between a 6 and a 10 because she's always had that for years now. We're just getting in the game. By the time we turn 18, now we're getting access to women. So for us to even understand this concept, it's quite difficult because it took us that long to get there.
Yeah, but you know what? I love the game.
You do now.
You
do now when you're winning, but you did it when you were 12.
No, you're right. You're right.
100%.
You're right. I didn't get no birds when I was 12. I had no luck with women during school years or anything. But I love the game, and the reason why I love the game, it was character building. I had to accept that none of these girls were going with me because I had no. Basically, when you obviously with your kid, you rely on what your mum feeds you for food. You have no really control over your financials. You can't pay for your gym membership. You can't do this. You can't do that, right? But when you start getting your bread up and you start realizing this, actually, I'm not getting no birds. I'm not getting no women. All my friends are. That's character building, because 100%. Now you've got to change the way you eat, you've got to change the way you train, you've got to change the way you look, you've got to change your hairstyle, you've got to get your bread up.
Okay, so those things should have been instilled in you from your father, from your uncles. You know, how you eat, how you work out, all these types of things. If you're sitting here saying that the women turning you down is character building, how is it character building that a species that's lesser than yourself acts like they're better than you, like you're not enough for them? That's far from character building. That's absolutely humiliating. All right, and that's the reason, again, why you see so many of these women getting their head knocked off, because they're disrespecting men that are bigger, stronger, and faster than them when the man comes up and tries to holler at them. Do I agree with the man just going crazy on a woman? No, but I'm trying to get y'all to understand the reason why it happens is because the woman is a inferior species to the man, and for you to behave in a way to where you feel like you're better, you're making the man prove his dominance. You're making a man prove that, no, you're not better than me. Who the hell told you that you were better than me? Who the hell told you that you can speak to me like that? And that is a natural instinct. And that is a natural instinct of a man understanding he's being disrespected. Okay? This society breeds that. This society is all about disrespecting the man. So a woman would disrespect a man and turning them down, but disrespect them during the turn down process. Oh, you this and you that, you lame, you got this and you got, just so disrespectful about the way they talk, and then wonder why these men go crazy on them. Again, I don't condone them going crazy, but they need to learn some self-control, especially in the captivity we're in and in the country that we're in. But there is reason for it. It's because a species or a being that is less than them is coming to them and speaking to them like they're better than them, when they are not. Men are lords, women are servants. It is that simple. It is not character building that they turned you down. No, that's not character building. It's disrespectful. And there was never a point in time where women had that option to turn down a man. All right? That's just plain and simple. The father was the one to say, okay, well, maybe I don't want you to take my daughter, or I want my daughter, I've already promised my daughter this person or that person. That's not going to be character building. That's just the man understanding, okay, that woman was taken, that woman has already been betrothed. All right, character building should come from your brothers, should come from your fathers, your uncles. It shouldn't come from a woman turning you down. All right, that's not character building whatsoever.
But women don't always get that character building, like side mission that us boys have to go through, and that's why I say I love the game, because these character building, and if you don't act on that character building, then you get left behind.
It should never be a game. It should never be a point where the brother's like, well, you need to get your game right. Like, you got to learn how to talk to these females. You got to learn how to do this and that. That's not what's going on. The man should be able to tell the woman this and she obeys. But now, because the women are picking, it's all about her. That's the reason why you have to game her up. You have to talk and speak her language. So it's not about the game. It's not about how crafty the man is with his words and all that. That's stuff that had to be adapted. We had to adapt to that type of dating or that type of lifestyle to get women, because they stopped women from being sold by their fathers, which was a righteous thing in God's eyes. And today they look at it as oppressing a woman. The woman never had a choice. She was sold by her father to her husband. That was how it went. Yes, they had arranged marriages. All right. The women didn't have that opportunity to just say, well, I don't think this will work out. He don't even like the type of music I like, or he don't like the type of clothes I like to wear. None of that mattered. Only thing mattered was she was being given over to her husband as a possession. And now for the rest of your life, you have to do exactly as this man says. What he says is right is right. What he says is wrong. For he is thy Lord, as the scripture says.
Do you know one thing that as a woman, I notice, like, men I don't think a lot of men, not all men of course, but I don't think a lot of men fully understand what it is women desire in a relationship. Like, I know you talk.
We don't care what you desire in a relationship, because that does not matter. What matters is, can you listen? Are you able to listen when a man tells you what to do? Are you able to take care of what he said? That's what matters. America taught you that it matters or what you want in a relationship. It absolutely does not matter whatsoever. And I pray you brothers get that through your heads so you can make your household a lot more peaceful. Because it do not matter what she wants. You've been taught that it matters it does not matter at all. I'm talking about not even to the least bit what she wants. The faster you get that out your head, the less trouble you're going to have. The more peace you're going to have. It's about what you want, and it's about her bending to your will. Simple as that.
Character building, and you're talking about games and all of these things. But And you might disagree, but a lot of women do desire emotional understanding in a relationship as well. And I think not a lot of men understand that.
That's so tricky because you know what? Logic goes out the window, and because us men are logical beings, I mean, I've done it sometimes, and ladies tell me, "Don't give me reason, don't give me logic, just listen to what I'm saying." I think, what, even if it doesn't make sense? But I think what you're describing there is just naturally out of our depth.
Yeah.
No, but that it depends on attitude, because whilst, generally speaking, women are more emotionally driven and men are more logically driven, that's fine, but this is what I'm saying, men have to want to understand.
Yeah, but let me caveat that.
Wait,
you know?
no, I'm not finished.
Okay, go on.
So, what I'm trying to say is men have to want to understand in it, because, when a woman's coming to you saying, like, she's expressing emotions about something that's happened, initially, men, you want to come up with a solution because you're more logical, and, like, I respect that. But sometimes in that moment, a woman doesn't want a solution. She just wants you to understand her emotion. She just wants to express it. She doesn't want the solution. She doesn't want the logic, and that's important for.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. You want to tell me about a problem, but you don't want the solution. You just want to keep talking about it over and over and over, keep venting, and you don't want the solution. This is why they need lords, because if they understand they have a lord, he's gonna say, that's enough of that. This is how we're gonna fix that. All right, we're gonna move on to the next thing. And your job is to accept it. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. I accept what you said is the solution. Anything outside of that is what you call a sin. All right? It's the truth of the matter. The woman's purpose is only to obey her husband in everything. It's not to come with what you feel, and we're supposed to sit there and understand you and all that. A lot of times it's just a lot of garbage, man. It's just a lot of garbage about how you feel and how you done seen somebody else get treated, and now you want that type of treatment. The TV and the internet has corrupted our sisters and our women to the fullest, to where they seriously think it's about them. It is never going to be about you. It's only going to be about you with men that don't understand their power, don't understand the position that God put them in over their household.
And to have a man that's gonna, like, hear that and just validate.
Sometimes women just want everything, bro. Like, seriously. See, I'm hearing everything.
But I don't think that's
let me interject because I'm the host, innit? Yeah. A lot of times women will want everything. It's unrealistic bars. It's unrealistic, bro. Like, because what you're describing is you want the man to understand you how a woman would understand you, because a woman feels the same way you feel. It just doesn't work. It don't work, bro. Men and women are different. We operate different, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't force a man to think like a woman. It ain't gonna work. And guess what? More than likely, if you do run into a guy that is like a woman, you're not gonna like him, bro. 100%. That's the fact.
But I'm not saying.
And that's what I mean by the whole cycle. They've been taught that they want something that they don't want. They've been taught they want Prince Charming. Then when they get to rolling out the carpet, doing everything they want him to do, and they're like, oh, he's too weak. He's too nice. Now I want to get somebody else. You mean to tell me he's too nice? Meaning he's done everything you want him to do, and that's why you don't want to be with him? These women do not have the capabilities of running their own life. We got to get this understood in order to help them. They don't have the capability to run their own life. They're supposed to have lords. Just as much as a child does not have the capability to run their own life, they have to have their parents, their lords over them. We cannot ignore God's order and just allow a woman to run wild and do whatever, say whatever, and then expect it to be wisdom coming out of her mouth. The scripture is clear. If they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. They're supposed to be learning from you if they will learn anything. All right?
Men should think like women. I don't think.
Or understand you.
No, but why shouldn't a woman feel understood by her man? Why would you not want to?
No, I'm saying we're different creatures.
Yeah, and we are different, and I think it's good we have our differences. We need the equilibrium, yeah? I'm not, like, denying that. But when you say, like, when I'm talking about a woman wanting to be emotionally understood by her man, and then you come at it with women want everything, it's like that. I'm not coming at you, but that type of attitude is kind of what I'm talking about, because that's a very simple thing for women. And as a man,
how many relationships?
Very simple thing for a woman to be understood. That's actually the opposite of a very simple thing, because every single woman wants to be understood in a different way in this society, because every woman has their own dreams, aspirations, and what she deems as a good man. So no, it's not a very simple thing. It's actually very difficult, because all of these women are coming up with different standards. So if we go just by what the man wants, like it's supposed to, now we don't have to care about her standards. We care about her obedience. We care about her actions. We care about how good of a servant she is. If she's not being a good servant, we understand she's not a good woman. She's not a good wife. There's no such thing as a good wife that's loud, that's disobedient, that doesn't do what her husband says. There's no such thing. Only America tells you that. But in reality, she's not a good woman. If you can't tell her, hey, go and cook this, this, and this, and I want it by 7:30, and it be no problem, you have to understand you have a witch on your hands. You got a headache on your hands. All right, she's not supposed to be like that, but America have taught her to be like that. She's not a good woman. A good woman's gonna say, you want it by this time? Okay, let me make sure I got everything down right. Okay, yes sir, I'm gonna take care of that for you, no problem. It's not, well, I don't think we should do that because I actually want to eat this, and I don't want to do it at that time because I got to go to my Pilates class, and I got to go see my sister over here on the other side of town and go do this and that. That's not what you have a woman for. Okay, she is your servant. What does that mean? Everything is going to be built and structured around your wants and your needs. And if it is, then it's going to be complete submission. It's not going to be an argument. It's not going to be her thinking that she's in charge. It's going to be complete submission. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'll take care of it. But what we have today is the opposite role. The woman be like, oh, well, I need this taken care of by this time or whatever. And her brother like, okay, yeah, I got you. I'll take care of it. No problem. Not even asking no questions. Why? Because we've been taught happy wife, happy life. We got to come out of that way in order to run our households righteously. All right? Hope y'all got something out of this, man. I'll get at y'all later. Shalom.